So, as discussed yesterday, we'll have a discussion session for Module 1 today. We have already completed Module 1, right? So, I just want to have like understanding that whether you people have gone through the slides or SLM materials or not. So, we'll just discuss about Module 1. So, back to Module 1, let me share the slides also so that you people remember something. Yeah. So, it was Introduction to IT Governance. So, like if you people know something, please I request everyone to interact. Okay, if your mic is not working or net is there is a net problem, please you can use the chat option too. Okay, so that I can find okay the answers, but I want everyone to interact with me. Okay, so the first question is, it's like introduction to IT governance, right? So what do you mean by governance? What does the word governance stands for? So this was very clearly discussed in the first class. Yes, what was governance? Please unmute yourself, or if you want to write, what do you understand? You don't have to give me the proper definition for governance, but what do you understand by governance? Anything, whatever it comes to your mind. Yes, please interact. See, I don't want to name anyone. You can, okay, to rule. Okay, I got one answer. Others, 5 of you are here. Anything, I got only one, so 4 of you can tell me. Governance. What comes to your mind when you heard the word governance? Nothing. English term, governance. Okay, let me have a revision again then. So basically this governance, if you go by the definition, it basically involves the chain of responsibility, so and also authority to communicate, to empower the people. So what does this means? That we have to take the, we have this like acronym for this 4 words: responsibility, then responsibilities, authorities, communication, and empower. So these 4 words make the word like defines this governance. Okay, so if we use the responsibility, that who has the responsibility. Okay, Raja has joined. Okay, now we have to be like who is responsible means someone needs to be answerable for like a particular set of work. So that is the responsibility. Then is the authority. The authority, what does this the word authority means? The right to take the decision. So who has the right to take the decision? Or what do you mean by communication? Yes, can anyone tell me what do you mean by communication? It's very easy. What is communication? Yes, Rituparna, you are raising your hand. Any confusion? Yeah. What is communication? What do you understand by communication? English word communication. Yes, please speak up, students. You already know these things. This is just a revision. To convey some kind of information, right? And what do you mean by empowering? It means giving power to take the decision. So basically this governance is a combination of these 4 words: responsibility, okay, responsibility, then it's authority, that is authorization also you can say, the right to take the decisions, or the communication to inform someone. Yes, and yes, Raja, good for communication. You have written exchanging information. Yes, and the last one is the empowering, like who have the uh, who has the power to take the action. So this word comprises of the governance, like definition. Now, this IT governance has two components. Okay, so IT governance is divided into two components. So, can anyone tell me the components? It has two components, right? Just anyone, can you recall what was the components in the IT governance? There were two components were there.
Structural component and process component.
Yes, it was the structural component and the process component. I think it was Jyoti, right? I don't know. Who said? Okay. Anyone, like good. It was structural and the process component. Now, what does the purpose of the structural component? What it does? Can anyone tell me? Structural component. What does it concern with? Yes, it's a discussion session. It's not a class. Please don't let me speak so much. Check the chats also if someone is writing. What does this structural component involves? So it will involve the structural component will involve the information technology activities, the way the IT people are trained, what are the IT activities supported by the business, okay, and how will you manage, who will manage. So under these are the structural components, okay, that falls under this IT governance. That is, it will or like support the organization information technology objectives. Now, what is a process component? Process component. You people have did not go open the slides only or like SLM materials. Please don't keep this thing for the last moment. See, we don't know like how the examinations are going to be held this time, right? So it may be possible that every day you have exam. So you people, your and syllabus is running and you people are not studying. So what happens for our being a teacher, my job is done. But for you, your turn is to study, right? Please start studying. Okay. So this process component, yes, it will involve all the decision making process, okay, between all the procedures, how it is done. So it will be involved in the process component. Now moving to the next, I think we have the objectives. So these are the few objectives. So okay, these are few objectives are there, like providing data regarding the product quality and process conformance. Then it's the key performance indicator and key goal indicators. So can anyone tell me what is the key performance and key goal indicators stands for? What do you mean by this key performance indicator and key goal indicators? What is the difference between this key performance indicator and key goal indicator? Basically, this key performance indicator is related to the predefined goals. Okay, so you mean like what needs to be done to achieve those goals. Okay, what will you do to achieve the key goals of the organization? But key performance indicators will show the right direction to achieve the goal. Okay, so how will you what performance is required to achieve those goals we have set in the key performance indicators. So key goal indicators. Next is the ensure that strategic business objectives are achieved with least wastage of the company's resources. So these were the three IT objectives, major objectives are there. Okay, now I think it's a, just wait. Yeah, it is the importance of IT governance. Okay. So in IT governance, you see various dimensions are there. We have this IT because we told like even in the previous classes I have mentioned that your business objectives should map with the IT objective, or your IT this management people are more concerned with the business objective, but these things are that uh, like business objective should be in in line, they should map with the IT environment also. So if these work in a proper way, then the IT objectives can be fulfilled, and once the IT objective is fulfilled, your organization will flourish, right? Because your business will flourish. But if their objectives, if like business objective of the organization and the IT objectives are different, in that case there may be troublesome for troublesome for the organization to map these things, and this IT investment will be totally a waste. Okay, so that is why we have to make sure that all the IT strategies we have map with the organization's strategy. So you can see here business environment and the IT environment. So this business environment has business strategy, and the IT environment has IT strategy. And IT strategy will involve obviously IT operation, and business strategy will have some business operation. So you can see it is bidirectional. The arrows are bidirectional. Why? Because the business strategies goals should match with the once there is a business strategy, it should map with the IT strategy, and similarly the IT strategy's vision should be IT operations. Everything, it's a cyclic loop, it forms a loop, that is everything should work hand in hand in together, their workflow should relate to each other, then only your organization will able to flourish. That is the importance. So that is why we go for introducing certain standards, IT standards that maps with the organization. So we have seen various processes like how the IT governance helps, because we have already reached third module. We are like currently in the third module, right? Till yesterday we were studying. So today is just a division. So we have seen how the IT helps in risk management, how the monitoring is done, how the information is flowed from the higher level management to the lower level management. Everything we have seen, right? So this is must be very clear now. Next, we have the governance versus management. So we often have the idea like governance and management means the same thing. Okay, but it is not so. So what is governance and what is management? Though both these terms are related, but there is a difference. But there is a difference. Can anyone tell me? Here you have, see, one of the definition is rare only, so you can just check what's the difference between them. Just now we have seen the definition for governance, where we have seen that like governance is the like responsibility, taking the responsibility, having the right the or having the right to take the decisions, and also to communicate those decisions and empower the people. So it means that it will focus on the authority to take the decisions, while management will focus on the implementation of those decisions. The governance has any right to make, this is not a basically a theoretical idea. Okay, and management will, whatever the standards have been done, they need to follow it, they need to implement it. Okay, that is the main difference. Okay, so it will focus, this governance will focus more on the like decision taking process, and management will focus on the implementation. So something, we have a balanced scorecard over here. So what do you mean by balanced scorecard? You can see the strategies and goals, we have this measure balance scorecard. So this balance scorecard is nothing but it will contain a performance measurement system that considers the financial measures and the business processes, learning measures, customer measures. All these things will be maintained in this balance scorecard. Next, we have the key goal indicator. So I just told you we should have, every organization have some pre defined goals. So how will you what needs to be done to accomplish those goals? It falls under this key goal indicators. And last is the key performance indicators. Okay, it's not the L one, it is the I. So it's KPI, not KPL. So it's in the KPIs we have, they will show the right. If we have some predefined goals in the key goal indicators, how can we achieve it? We should take the right decision. What should be the right path? We follow using the KPL. Okay. Now moving next. These are some important IT governance concepts. So you can see this the MIT Sloan School for Center for Information System and Research, CISR. After extensive research has arrived 5 IT decisions to be addressed by IT governance for achieving good or effective IT governance. So these are basically the key standards that have been designed by this IT MIT Sloan School. So first is the principle of digitization. So what does it do? So it basically a high level, it consists of some high level statement on how it is to be used. So it will be driven by the business principles. For example, which model is being used. So that is the operating model. Next is the enterprise architecture. So this will organize all the logic, what are the logic are there, then applications, infrastructures captured and set of policies, relationships, technical choices to achieve the desired business and technical standardization and integration. Next is the IT infrastructure strategies. So strategies for shared IT capability, both technical and human, delivered as reliable services. So all example are this like network, help desk, shared data. Next we have the business application needs. So specifying the business needs for purchased or internally developed IT application. Next is the IT investment and prioritization. So decisions on how much and where in IT, including project approvals and justification techniques, will come under this IT investments, like how much to be invested in particular IT projects. So all these things are decided in IT investments. Now this IT principles will be derived from the business goals of the enterprise architecture. That is, whatever the goals are there in the enterprise architecture will be deriving the principle of digitization. Now the IT infrastructure, that is the this IT architecture will decide the IT infrastructure strategies and the business needs. Now this business needs will decide the IT infrastructure, and the IT investments will be depending on the 4 other things. That is this IT investment. Sorry, IT investment will be dependent on the business application needs, IT infrastructure strategies, enterprise architecture, and principle for digitization. Okay, this IT, just see the reverse portion. This IT architecture will be dependent on the principles, how you derive the principles for digitization. And also this IT infrastructure you need to find out based on, it's found based on this business needs. Okay, and this IT investments you find based on all these 4 criteria, that is principle for digitization, enterprise architecture, IT infrastructure strategies, and business needs. Next, coming to we have the IT governance framework. So why do we need this IT governance framework? Because this is the most challenging job of the this is the most challenging job in any governance mechanism, to communicate whatever information you have to the from the management to the lower level people. So this management people will consist of all the higher standards like the owner, the CEO, and the director post. So how will you communicate it to the lower employees? Like you can think lower employees, maybe the testers, the coders, say fall under the lower employees only. Okay, the new joinees. Okay, so where we solving this purpose, the MIT Sloan School CSIR has developed the following framework called the IT governance arrangement matrix. So by this you can communicate, the management can communicate to the lower employees. So upper you have seen this in the columns you can see all the IT decisions. Okay, IT decisions that you can taken by the IT governance team. So just now we have studied about the all the 5 key decisions to be governed. So all the principles you can find in the over here in the columns: IT principles, IT infrastructure strategies, IT architectures, business needs, IT investments you can find here. And this consists of the model. What are the models? The rows will consist of the various models of the IT governance. Just we have the business monarchy, IT monarchy, feudal, federal, then duopoly. So all these things, and here you can see all the executive committee members, the leaders, and also we have the business leaders, CIO, IT leadership. So all these persons are here. So you can find like who are responsible for what. Okay, you can find by looking at the columns and the row. You can by using this matrix you are able to detect which, like the IT investment decisions are taken by the uh, cap appropriate common. So you can find here it's the executive common subgroup includes the CIO. Okay, so you can find here IT investment decisions are taken by them, and it is under the model business monarchy. Similarly, the CIO IT leadership. So the CIO, like this IT architecture decisions are taken by whom? This CIO, that is IT leadership team, and it falls under the model IT monarchy. Similarly, we have IT infrastructure strategies. Decision is taken by again the CIO, that the IT leadership, and it falls under the IT monarchy. Okay, then we have several like IT principles, like it is taken by the executive committee. Inputs are given by the executive committees. All the like all IT strategy and also IT architecture. And here you can see the decisions who takes the decision, and it falls under all the inputs are falling under the federal. Okay, federal. Sorry. And the last one is all the duopoly. You have your IT principles. Decisions are taken by executive committee, IT leadership, and also the business application needs are also taken by this that is the business process owners are taking this decision. So by going through this metric you are able to find like how the information is flowed from the upper management from the management to the lower level employees. Okay, so basically this kind of metrics is used by the managers. Why the managers use this kind of metrics to inform about their decision, to the lower employees. Now what are the different kinds of models are there? Just we have seen here the different kind of models. First is a business monarchy. So business monarchy is basically involves like the top managers. The top managers are involved in this business monarchy. Next is the IT monarchy. So you can see here also this IT monarchy, it will be used by the IT specialist. Okay, so because teams from the IT, people from the IT will be involved in the IT monarchy. Next is a feudal. Feudal, what it does that each business unit takes its own decision. So feudal unit, every feudal unit will take its own business decision. But here you can see there are no input also and no decisions taken because it is not the individual unit. Next is the federal. So in federal, what happens? A combination of corporate or business units. So the IT specialist or here the IT specialist may or may not be involved. Okay, because it will be a combination of the corporate and the business objectives. Next is the duopoly. So in duopoly, that is this one, you can see here all the executive committee members will be involved, or the corporate top management leaders, individual business results will be involved here. Next is the governance landscape. Now this governance landscape will comprise of these things: enterprise governance, IT governance, product governance, and development governance. So as you can see from the diagram, you can find out that the enterprise governance is the highest level of governance in an organization. So basically it will drive the goals that must be accomplished, that as a whole whatever the organization goals are there will be achieved by this enterprise governance. So next is the IT governance. So from the diagram it's very clear that the subset of this IT governance is a subset of the enterprise governance. Okay, So, and subset of the IT governance, and also it is like in intersection with the product governance, right? So it will like encompass all the like LAN, WAN, and internet, intranet, and like that should be established within the enterprise. So it will consist of all these things, the networking part. Next is a product governance. So again, you can see it's a like subset of the enterprise governance, and also it is falls in the intersection between the IT governance. So it will be like specific relevant to organization that deal with products. Since it is product government, so it will be more dealing with more product based. Okay, and the last one is the development governance. So basically, it's a subset of the intersection of the IT governance and the product governance. So it will be like relevant to the system development work. Okay, that was comprised of the everything. So this was all about the governance landscape. So till this part, any confusion? Just a little revision for you people. Okay, one sec. Others, what about others? These students start studying. Okay, we have to have revision also in the next class. We'll obviously start with module 3, but side by side one class I'll keep for revision also, because you people are not studying. I am understanding that one. Okay, so let me take the attendance for today. Just wait. Okay, thank you everyone. You all can leave now.